How much 1000 stacks will cost by the end of 2024 and why you should accumulate it into your portfolio. Welcome back, my name is Stan, I am the CEO and co-founder of a custom international software development company. We build software for the city of New York, SAP and General Electric. I've done more than $15 million in custom software sales. And on this channel I'm showing my journey on turning $500,000 into 10 million in crypto. In this video we will go through STX, layer 2 financial project on Bitcoin, and I will share my thoughts on how much 1000 stacks, which is around $1,600 at this stage, will be worth by the end of 2024. So guys, STX is a layer 2 on Bitcoin, which is specifically focused on the finance. Why this is huge and why this is just crazy from my point of view. Bitcoin is the largest blockchain, therefore it's the most secure blockchain, where people would want to store their funds. Why people store the funds in the bank and not, for example, they store the bank under the pillow? Because they believe that in the bank, the funds, the hard-earned money would be safer, right? And at the same thing, you would want to store your funds not on some like Ethereum, which is like smaller. You would want to store your funds on the BTC chain and on the layer 2s of BTCs as well. And that's the same reason why people call Bitcoin the storage of funds, storage of wealth, storage of value, right? And the same thing with stacks. So one thing you should know about the stacks is about how mining works of stacks. So I would not go into the technical details. Easy thing is that miners, they spend BTC, they acquire stacks, but if you stake stacks, you receive BTC, which is huge. Just imagine you stake stacks and you receive BTC. That's how the whole mining is set up on the product. The mining is set up in the way that you lock up your stacks token and you receive BTC for staking. Crazy thing. Stacks is being pushed as the financial layer for Bitcoin, and the main reason why I'm bullish on this thing is because investors, institutions, people with like largest amount of money, like billionaires and things like that, they who are specifically working in the finance, they will not be putting money into the things that they don't understand, and they don't understand anything except finances. They will not be buying like meme tokens, like crazy new gaming tokens. Even they will not be buying AI tokens as well. They might be focusing in DeFi, which is finances and things they understand, and real world asset tokenization, because it might be something that they understand as well, because it is closely connected with the finance. But I would say that the main thing is going to be DeFi, and that's why we had DeFi summer in the last cycle as well. That's the reason of why we had this DeFi summer on Ethereum, where each and every DeFi project was just pumping like crazy. I strongly believe that we would see the same thing happening on BTC. And the first mover, a largest project, because there are actually a bunch of them popping up currently and everyone is screaming and saying like we are DeFi and Bitcoin and things like that. Largest one of them is STX, which is the layer 2 of the whole thing. You have some beta plays around STX, which are the projects around STX, and I actually invested in quite a few of them. I might be able to talk about them in a different video. By the way, if you would like me to do a video on the ecosystem of STX, feel free to leave that in the comments. I can do a pretty nice overview in terms of the tokens because I was researching them best. But in terms of the STX, there are institutional guys already that are saying on the videos, in the public, in the press, that they do like and appreciate, and they're pretty excited about STX. Pretty excited about STX. Institutional guys, right? And it's crazy because not a lot of people actually talk about this project. Not a lot of people know this project. And despite a lot of people talking about it currently, it's already a top 37 crypto. Crazy. Maybe there is a reason why financial institutional guys are buying into this token and you don't know about it. You didn't have like your favorite influencer talk about this token. Maybe there is a reason of why they're not pushing this up, because they want to acquire the position first and then just pump it through the roof, essentially. So speaking about the market cap projection, and if we would circle back into the title of this video, how much I think 1000 stacks would cost by the end of 2024, which is essentially 1000 stacks currently, it's exactly $1,660. So it's not a large amount of money in terms of the crypto investments and things like that. So we have this website, which is a market cap of, right? And I would suggest ourselves to follow the logic of Uniswap and follow the logic of Ethereum as well. So Uniswap is basically a largest DeFi product and service on Ethereum. So I would like to compare first the ratio of Uniswap to Ethereum, right? So here we have 56x in terms of the market cap of the Uniswap and in terms of the market cap on Ethereum, right? And in terms of the stacks, if we would compare stacks with the market cap of Bitcoin, right? we would essentially see that 369x, right? 370. So it's at least 7 times larger gap in the first place. Just by this stupid comparison, right? It's only one catalyst for the whole thing, right? So we already have at least 7x from the current prices from only this catalyst. We have 2 more. The second one is the fact that the Bitcoin is the largest blockchain, largest, most secure chain. So once this DeFi narrative will be picked up on BTC, DeFi on Bitcoin should be way larger than DeFi on Ethereum. Because Ethereum, it can be manipulated. There are a bunch of people that hold a bunch of Ethereum already because it surged up quite recently, like in the last 4 to 5 years. And essentially we have facts and history and proofs that Vitalik himself, he was changing transactions in Ethereum. So this is something that he can do himself, right? Therefore, it's not that secure, especially for institutions. If you would have like $1 billion that you would want to put somewhere to make yield into the high risk asset from your point of view, it's BTC in the first place. And if you're an institutional guy, you know finances is the only thing you understand, and you have stacks, which is finance layer on layer 2 BTC. On top of that, we should have a pump in the whole market. So I envision that from 1.5 trillion that we're at currently, we should go to around 12 trillion by the end of 2024, 2025. I actually might think that it might happen by the end of 2024, but probably largest pump will happen by the end of 2025. So we have 7x here just from comparison of stacks, BTC ratio, and Uniswap and Ethereum ratio, plus the fact that BTC on DeFi is very early, and I think it will generally just pick up vastly. It's the largest and most secure blockchain with the largest amount of value, because the value that is locked in BTC is way larger than the value that is locked in Ethereum. And on top of that, we have other things that I've mentioned already. So the market cap of stacks right now is at 2.4 billion, right? We can kind of round it up to 2 billion just for convenience purposes, and that should be around 1.3, right? So in terms of us essentially predicting, trying to provide any estimates in terms of the price of the whole thing, I do believe that by the end of 2024, we might see this token with the current market cap at $40 billion market cap. So it would be at 20x from here, just based on all of the theses that I've mentioned already. That's 20x, and with 40 billion, obviously we would have the whole market pumping as well. So 40 billion would not be that high in terms of the top crypto, but I think that this thing would essentially go to top 20, top 10, top 15 of the market cap. Very bullish thing about this token, right? If you would check out the chart, it didn't correct with the market currently. So one of the bullish things in terms of this scenario for this token is that we saw the correction on the recent dump to 40k to 1.2, right? But we're already surging up. And right now we are printing this green candle, which is quite huge by itself. And this project, it keeps going up and surging up. And essentially DeFi narrative for BTC, it's crazy by itself. It's crazy. Like you can't fathom like the amount of money that would surge into this industry and surge into this narrative, this niche. Bitcoin DeFi. It's a crazy narrative by itself. And it's like top 1 best project for this narrative, for this whole thing. So following our overview, if we would project that we would see a 20x for this token by the end of this year, that would mean that our $1,600 will turn into $32,000 by the end of this year. It's just crazy in terms of the projections, in terms of the things that might happen with this token. And if you know me, if you follow this channel, you know that from my point of view, from my end, I'm not going to buy this token at this stage because 2 billion is quite large market cap from my point of view, and we just surged 4x from the lows of October, and it's quite interesting that the token was able to sustain this number. So it didn't go lower to these levels in October, because in October the whole market was essentially dumping, and a bunch of tokens, they went lower than the previous lows. And it's a very interesting situation with stacks that it did not go to the previous lows, so it stayed at quite high numbers. I won't be essentially getting into the token at these levels. I would be looking to DCA in and essentially get a position there. I think I would have opportunities to enter the token in the upcoming year. And I would say that level 1.2 that we touched essentially in terms of this correction is a very nice and great level. And there is a high chance that we would essentially be revisiting it as well. Interesting thing in terms of stacks is that it moves along with the BTC as well. So they essentially go in pair, but obviously it would always outperform BTC because it's just of the smaller market cap and it's layer 2 on Bitcoin, right? It's just crazy. And one of the issues that you have with the platform is that it's quite slow at this stage. Like transactions, they take a bunch of time, but they do have planned Nakamoto update of the whole blockchain in the first quarter of 2024. Of course, it's risky from point of view of whether or not they would be able to develop it and things like that. And some people that have enough conviction, they're just jumping into the whole thing right away because they understand that once this update will be introduced, the token will surge. And essentially, there is a reason of the token being at the current prices right now, just because of the fact that people are not sure in terms of whether or not essentially this update will be introduced. But just imagine, we would still have the narrative of layer 1 and layer 2. We would still have BTC as the first mover, as the largest and most secure token in the whole market as well. And we will probably face the issue with the high cost of transactions. So people, they would be looking for alternative in terms of layer 1s and layer 2s on different chains, not only on BTC. So they would naturally be looking into stacks. Plus, on top of that, DeFi and BTC, which is huge. I do believe that like a bunch of funds of ETF, they might search into something like this, into DeFi on BTC, because it's just crazy by itself. They do also have some mechanism internally that you stake token and you get more. So the fact that a lot of the supply of this token is staked, so it's blocked and you can't actually sell. The fact that you have lending mechanism like Arcadico on this thing as well, where you can get stacks and you can get stable coins for your stacks, and then you can essentially use these stable coins to buy more stacks. Therefore, you would essentially be always pumping the price up. I think it's just a very, very great and nice setup for this thing to move up, to fly higher, to surge as well. So I do see that this thing might do a 20x by the end of 2024, which would turn our 1,000 stacks at this stage into $32,000. I do think there's a high chance for this. And if you would like me to create a video overview on the ecosystem of beta plays on stacks that I'm buying myself, that I think are very, very nice to leverage this opportunity, feel free to leave it in the comments, so I will check it out and record video on the ecosystem of stacks, because there are quite a few nice projects there. Even DEX on Bitcoin. Crazy. Very, very crazy stuff. If you like the content, like and subscribe, and see you in the next one.